morning. It's January 1st, 2023. So happy New Year. And I've been meaning to record this wiring this diagram for quite some time. So I'm going to just get to it and start off the new year with this uh, video. And what I normally I would have some music here, but I really want to save you some time. If you are a hardcore slip switch user, this is the video for you. If you're not, this isn't going to be very helpful. So you need to have made two decisions. One, you're going to use a slip switch, and you don't want to do it all the time. And two, you're going to want to have watched the precursor video to this one, because it will tell you how to connect all of this lights to the switch motors that are actually under this slip switch right here. All right, here we go. So slip switch. You have two motors, two switch motors, one that's hooked up here and one that's hooked up there. And you can have, in the lighting diagram, which was talked about in the previous video, you can have the train going across this way, you can have it going this way, you can have the train coming around that way, or coming around this way. And these are the four positions that you can see right here. You have a toggle switch, that's right here, that controls these two, lighting and throwing of the switch motors. And you have this one that controls both of these. So here we can see it's green, so it's going across. So in this configuration, it would be going across this way. Right, so again, the engine could come across this way, the engine can come across straight, it could go across straight that way, or if you had a car, it could come just in this direction. So very powerful, pretty amazing piece of engineering. There's a switch motor here, there's a switch motor there. If that switch, and I'm going to be using this terminology later in the wiring diagram. So you see, if there are four positions. You can have this switch motor up and this switch motor up, and then it would go in this path. You can have this switch motor up, that's number two, and this one down, so you have up, down. You can have the reverse, where you have down for number one and up for number two. So that is configuration 3, and the configuration 4 is where this is down and this is down. And these are the four configurations that you see here. So now, in the previous video, we talked about all of the lighting, but you have to connect all of this lighting to how the switch motors are behaving. I really suggest you use wiring harnesses, wiring strips, because if you're like me, you're not going to get it right the first time. And so if you solder everything, you have to unsolder that, right? So if you use wiring strips, you can just unconnect, disconnect, and move things around pretty quickly. All right, so this was the previous video. This is all the lighting, the LEDs 1, 2, 3, and 4. The latching relays, and then this double pole, double throw toggle switch. And you can see this side of the toggle switch, which goes to 12 volts DC, is for the lights. This side, which goes to 16 volts AC, is for the switch motors. And I'm using the Pico switch motors for their OO track. So let's talk about the diagram and the toggle switches. These are all color coded as best as I can, and then we'll move on to the actual wiring diagram. So here is that LED diagram, where LED 1 and 4, where the train is going to go in this fashion. Then the switch motor 1 and switch motor 2 are both in the up position. The blue arrow is the toggle momentary double pole, double throw switch, which is sitting right here. So when you push this up and let it go, it's going to put the LEDs this way, and it's going to throw switch motor 1 up and switch motor 2 up. Here is what the switch motors look like. There is a magnet that is actuated when current is put through it. The 2 left sides are connected to 16 volts AC. And when you connect up to this side, it's going to be up because this little pin that's at the center is going to be pulled towards where the magnet is. And that's going to throw the switch itself over. And when this magnet is activated, then this pin is going to come down and you're going to throw the switch the other way. So this is the up down for one of the switch motors. And similarly, you have the same situation for the second switch motor. All right, so when you throw the toggle switch down, which is this down arrow, you get the up-down configuration. You get LED 1 and 3, which tells you that it's going to go across this way. And then when you throw this switch motor, this toggle, momentary toggle switch up, it's going to throw switch motor 1 down and switch motor 2 up. And then when you push this double pull, double throw momentary switch down, you're going to, that's the down arrow here. They're both switch motors are going to be down, allowing you the path to be in this particular fashion, right? So hopefully this gives you a sense that the LEDs and the switch motors are connected. Now let's take a look at how that wiring diagram really looks like under the table. And again, although I'm showing direct connections here between the double pole, double throw momentary toggle switch and the switch motors really use wiring harnesses, right? The wiring harness would be in between here, where this would go to a single spot on that, and then there would be 1 and 2 wires that go to that single spot. That way you can move these things around if you didn't get them connected right. So here's switch motor 1, here's switch motor 2, here is the 16 volt AC on this side. Here is the toggle momentary switches 1 and 2, and there's these in the LED diagram. It's this one here and this one here. And the center pole is now connected on both of these. It's now connected to the other pole of the 16 volt AC power source. This connector, again, color coded, hopefully, this particular pole goes to the up and up positions on switch motors 1 and 2. This one is on the up down position. This one is on the down up position, and this last one is on the down down positions. Right? So it's not too complicated. You just want to do it really slow, and you want to make sure that you've installed these under your slip switch before you start doing all of these connections. So just solder a wire here, connect it to the wiring harness, one wire here, wire harness, so on, right? And then you'll start connecting these to the wiring harness as you are making your connections, right? So go slow, check it out. I got it wrong. I had put this one into that location, and vice versa. Other things happen. So, all right, do it slow, Hopefully that will all work. And what you end up with eventually is something like that first diagram that I showed you, or that first picture where you have the LEDs here that corresponds to that this single toggle switch will throw both the LEDs in the right position and throw these motors into the right position for your trains to function correctly. All right, enjoy and have a really great new year.